And you can see this when John uses the language here of saying the first heaven and the first earth had passed away. You might recall, for example, from the Gospel of Matthew and Mark, in chapter 24 of Matthew, Jesus speaks about the end of the world using this very same imagery. He says, heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away. Right? That's the imagery he's using there of speaking about the end of the cosmos, the end of the world, the end of the universe. So when John says, I saw a new heaven and a new earth, this doesn't mean, as sometimes people think, that he's speaking about a new celestial realm where God dwells. No, the expression heaven and earth is just an ancient Jewish way of referring to the cosmos, of referring to the universe. So when Jesus says heaven and earth will pass away, he means the world will pass away. Likewise, when John says, I saw a new heaven and a new earth, he's talking about a new world that is going to replace the former world. And he's getting this idea from, of course, the Old Testament. Because if you go back to the book of Isaiah, for example, chapter 64 through 66, one of the most powerful and distinctive aspects of the book of Isaiah, of the prophecies of Isaiah, is that Isaiah makes clear that when the Messiah comes, when the Anointed One comes, when God comes to save his people, he's not just going to save them, he's not just going to deliver them, he's not only just going to forgive their sins, he's also going to bring about a new creation, a new heaven and a new earth where the righteous will dwell forever. And so what John is doing is showing us a vision of the fulfillment of Isaiah's prophecy of not just the end of the world, but the new creation. And he describes this new creation as centered on another new thing, and that's the new Jerusalem, the new city of God, which he depicts as coming down out of heaven like a bride adorned for her husband. And what does that mean? Well, if you go back to the Old Testament, you'll see over and over again, the people of Israel are depicted collectively as a bride, and God, the Lord, is the divine bridegroom. So what John's showing us here, and this is really crucial, is that the end of time, the end of the world, isn't just the kind of cataclysmic destruction of the visible universe as we know it. Although it is that, it is going to pass away. But it's more than that. It's the coming also of a new cosmos, a new universe, a new heaven and a new earth, and the union of God and church, of God and humanity in the church through the wedding of Christ with his bride, the new Jerusalem, right? And so what John's doing here is using imagery from Jewish scripture to unveil the mystery, because this really is a mystery of what the end of time is, what it's all about, right? So you see a new creation, number one. You see a new Jerusalem, number two. And then you also, if you look carefully here, you actually see he's also talking about a new Exodus.